To Nick and Dylan, she presented the meat with colcannon, pancetta, cabbage and fat chips.
God, that's way too overcooked for me. Oh no.
The beef, unfortunately, is destroyed, and for such a beautiful
Piece of meat, yeah.
Expensive cut of meat. It's a shame because you had fantastic creative
I know.
ingredients.
I'm just so annoyed with myself that I ruined such a good piece of beef.
What you need the most is finesse. You know, you just undercook that beef. That beef was priority on the plate. 3 slices of beef with a little bit of cabbage and 1 potato would have been enough.
I should have sliced my beef. I can't believe I just put a big hunk of beef on the plate, you know. And it's amazing, you get it in a restaurant done so lovely, and then you forget to do it yourself presentation-wise. Cook beef, I love it.
I think because of my age, I'm the oldest contestant, I believe, in the competition. I've been cooking for about 22 years. I've a lot more experience than these guys. I've most likely experimented with a lot of ingredients that they haven't. Walking up to Dylan and Nick, I was actually quite confident.
So time for Andy to show his flair with Danny's box of fishy ingredients. His dish is seafood tagliatelle with Dublin Bay prawns.
Are you happy with it?
In general, I think I am, yes, yeah.
What did you pass it through, a fine sieve?
Yes.
A conical strainer?
Yeah, conical strainer.
Conical strainer. For you to achieve a beef correctly, a conical strainer is not a small enough hole. What we have is a really grainy kind of texture, which is kind of unpleasant and looks a bit like sick. It has all of the potential to be good, it just has none of the refinement.
I think the underlying flavour was actually there. It was just muddied a little bit by that small mistake. Or, no, sorry, big mistake on my part.
During the cooking, Simon struggled with Vidalma's box with rhubarb and had particular trouble with making custard. Simon finally managed to come up with custard to accompany his rhubarb crumble.
I just think you could have done much better with the time that you had. I just find the rhubarb too sharp inside, presentation is ugly, and then your custard is not a custard.
Nick gave me a bit of a slating, and just I think he knows his desserts, and he really didn't like mine. I think there's a strong possibility they'll be out of here today, especially when you see what other people put up, and there's a lot of really strong dishes there.
Using Simon's box of fish ingredients, Vidalma's final dish was one to impress Nick and Dylan. She cooked hake and mussels in tomato red pepper fennel sauce, sweetened with peas.
The presentation is lovely, so he's inviting me in to eat.
I can taste the fennel, I can taste the tomato, I can taste the pepper, I can taste every note. I'm actually impressed.
Nick was another chef cooking his key ingredient for the first time. He presented Nick and Dylan with spiced rubbed quail, carrot, fennel and citrus salad, served with a coriander flatbread.
Whenever you go back to London, I can see you serving that on Brixton High Street. No, it's cool. All you need now is a bottle of Corona and you're sorted.
Kathy got the ingredients for jerk chicken, and with only an hour to cook, she decided not to reinvent the wheel. To accompany her jerk chicken, Kathy made a citrus mango salsa and flatbread.
I do feel a little sorry for you. I think out of all the boxes, it looks like it's one thing and it has certain ingredients and certain spice, and you're either going to do that or you're not. It doesn't give you really much avenues to go. So I think you've done the best with what you had in the time frame that you had, but we're going to have to work on your presentation. Big time. But the flavor's there, but we've still an awful lot more to work at in terms of detail.
I was scared they were going to cut into it and feel that maybe it wasn't, you know, cooked through or some disaster, you know, so I had things running through my head. But once again, I was kind of thinking this is probably the end, you know, this is a great date.
During the cooking, Brian impressed Nick and Dylan with his eye for detail. Can the taste match up? He made seared scallops on a veloute of langoustine, scallops and peas, served with a chive flour.
It's light, it's dainty, It's just, I need more, I want more depth, I want more flavour, I want more seasoning. I want to be able to want to eat that bowl of it. With me, it's kind of a bit nondescript and not Moorish enough. However, the cooking and the technique is all there.
All criticism, whether it's constructive or not, is you have to take it when you go back to your pod after taking your dish, whether it's a good dish or not, in their opinion. You're always doubting.
Dee has doubted all day whether she could cook Brian's ribeye to Nick and Dylan's taste. To push her over the line, she's serving the steak with bubble and squeak cake and a mushroom creme fraiche sauce.
Considering the fear in your eyes, you actually did a good job.
If I go out based on the dish today, I'm happy that the twist was there, because at least, you know, I pushed myself to the limit, and, you know, to me it was a good challenge.
JACINTA also had to tackle a big piece of beef.
I'm only 50% happy with what I did, I suppose, or 40 even, maybe 30.
From Joe's box, she dished up steak with celeriac mash and red wine onions.
It's not rocket science, it's very simple. I want to see that meat carved, making a big bacon in a big spoonful. That was exactly what we do at home. We all can do that at home. That's not where we are. We're not at home.
When I was coming here, I didn't want to be called a home cook, or I didn't want my food to seem homey. But when I got that box of ingredients, I said, what can I do? It's a homey, quite, in my book, masculine set of ingredients. What can I do with it?
Joe received from JACINTA the ingredients for her passion fruit tart. What he came up with was an orange and chocolate tart with white chocolate custard and raspberry and passion fruit coulis.
It's not as light as I would imagine it to be like. It's all quite heavy. Presentation, obviously, yes. You've presented like an abstract painting.
I'm not really sure what to take from that, because abstract has an all over the place, or Picasso abstract, not sure.
TAMARIN swapped boxes with Terry and learned something new on the way.
I think I cooked it really well, and I learned from it. So I've done it now, you know, and I can now say I can cook tuna.
So TAMARIN's offering was tuna with wasabi creme fraiche and pickled salad.
You've given us some tuna here that has been seasoned on the top, but if you were to eat a slice of that tuna, you'll find it very bland. Considering the first dish that you cooked for us, I expect more from you.
One of my favourite things is seared tuna, but tuna needs love and attention, because tuna on its own sometimes can be very bland. It's too dry and it needs more juice, sweetness, just more impact on flavour.
I was upset because, one, you know, I'd let myself down, but two, I was hoping for a, you know, I'd hate someone to think I expected better of you.